Hello everyone, this is Chris Guest, and welcome back to Children's Technology Review. Last week we had the opportunity to attend the Keys to Learning event with Ubisoft in New York City, where they showcased 3 new games, each with their own educational focus: Rabbids Coding, Project Oikos, and Discovery Tour Ancient Greece. There are also several speakers who I had the opportunity to record, and have posted some highlights of further on in the video. I hope you enjoy the footage we were able to capture, and if you're interested in any of the 3 games, you can check them out in reviews that we'll have up alongside this video. Thanks, folks.
You can fly.
It's free on Uplay, so you can download and play it. And actually in this one you have missions, you have to accomplish, you have stars, so it's fully gamified. The more you advance in the levels, the more it becomes complicated, but also the more types of instructions you find. I would say 6 to 14, but actually even adults are interested because, as you said, we don't all know about coding, and so to just understand the basics and the
it's a good
logic behind coding.
It's a good entry point.
Yeah.
Take a picture of you, take a picture of me.
Oh. Am I supposed to be eating your food?
Yeah, I think probably. Oh, that's cool. So it tells you like where everything is. So you have too many fish. I don't have enough lily pads. I mean, oh jeez. How many fish do we have?
Oh.
That was it. It was too many. You want to do one more?
Yeah.
Okay. You dive bomb the fish.
So rude.
All right.
Yay!
But barely.
Did you see the cleanliness level?
That's great.
Okay, so we have a wonderful afternoon of conversation. We are going to start off with a talk by Burak, who is our chairman of Games for Change, and then we're going to have a panel discussion, and we're going to close it with another talk from young Plass.
I want to start in a very small place called Israel. It's so small that the yellow dot on the map covers like 2 neighboring countries. And when you are born in Israel, this is Tel Aviv, this is what you grew up with. And the drawing that you just saw is something that I did when I was 5 years old. And whether you want it or not, when you're 18, you go to the army. If you didn't recognize me, I'm this guy. It was a long time ago. And I was in the army for 5 years. Serious games or games for change were not even a term. And I told Randy that I want to make a game about the Middle East conflict. A game that people playing the Israeli side and the Palestinian side can make peace together. And that was the response. I mean, very interesting, but a group of students in the university, how can you make it happen? And Peacemaker became one of the very first games for change when the movement started. What happened is that many people came to us with the same quote over and over. And they said, I played your game Peacemaker for 2 hours or 3 hours, and now I understand more the conflict than watching TV for 2 years or 3 years on the topic. And one of them was to be on Israeli TV and let one of the prime minister candidates to play the game.
אגב, אני חושב שמפעיל יתום לא ממש עובד במשחק.
How long did it take you to lose the game?
ונגמר המשחק.
Any idea?
הפסדתי, כי המחשב החליט שהפסדתי. למרות שאני לקחתי אותו על כלום.
So, he loses the game in 5 minutes. He gets the screen of the third intifada And then the reporter is asking him, so what do you think about the game? He said, this game is totally unrealistic because I took all the right choices. So we understood that this generation is lost for us. Picture quickly, just to give you some highlights. I'm sure that many of you think about it as well. Where are we going from here? One area is health, digital medicine, electronic medicine.
Test out a virtual reality pain management tool called Snow World. Josh demonstrates how it works. Looking through high-tech goggles, he launches snowballs at penguins and snowmen through an icy canyon as Paul Simon plays. Immersed in this Arctic environment,
that triggers the memory of cold.
Josh says he forgot about the painful daily cleaning and dressing of his wounds.
It was the only time that I actually did not feel pain.
The doctor says his study shows Snow World decreased burn patients' pain and the need for heavy pain medication.
You will see one day that the doctor can prescribe an XR experience for a game for patients. Obviously, it's not going to be one session, it's going to be played 4 times a week, 1 hour a day, over a month to get the effect. You look at games 20 years ago, you're thinking about them as this isolated activity. We're talking here about social activity, shared energy, participation by millions, thousands in the stadium, but millions that are watching it. And just like the Olympics and traditional sports, imagine what we can do with it.
It's a really cool experience to have every person around you like the thing that you like. It really has changed my life. I absolutely love this game.
It's one of those games that, whether we're having a good day or a bad day, we know if we play, we're going to have a good time and we're going to be better off for it.
And even in the context of learning, I'm already seeing people using esports in high school to encourage all kinds of soft skills and 21st century skills, team collaboration, entrepreneurship, and other STEM areas. And I'll conclude with this slide. Esports for change, maybe one day. We'll do the full circle, see Israel and Palestine playing against each other. Thank you, guys.
There's so much about games that we've come to learn over the last few decades that lends itself incredibly well to kids learning. And that's going to be the focus of our conversation next. We're happy to have Stephanie Magnier, Vice President of Global Communications at Ubisoft. Thank you very much. Stephanie's coming over from Paris. Please, you can have a seat here, I guess. Yeah. Next, we have Arana Shapiro, who is a former Executive Director of Institute of Play. And Adam Blumenthal, who has a great title, which is Professor of the Practice at Brown University. And we'll learn what practice he's a professor of.
The bottom line is that when we want kids to learn something, the very lowest kind of bar that you're trying to leap over is engagement, right? So you need to engage with kids in some way, shape, or form. So games do a very good job of engaging kids. Asi spoke about it when he was talking about his game. You know, the number one thing that games do is you are asked to take on some kind of a role. You have to be someone and you have to do something and solve some kind of a problem. And because kids are asked to step into a space where they have to engage with information, and they're not just being told something, but they're actually asked to grapple with something, and they're asked to make choices, and sometimes the choices are wrong, and then they have to deal with the repercussions of their choices, and that's okay. That's a part of the game. They're engaged from the get-go, right? And so because you have that engagement, you can throw any content in there, really, ask them to grapple with it, and get the kind of engagement that you can't necessarily get in a more traditional classroom setting.
You were mentioning earlier about reframing failure as iteration, and kind of talk a little bit about the school itself and how you took on that philosophy.
Yeah, so in 2008, I think, the Institute of Play founded a school in New York City's public schools, and 6th to 12th grade schools, called Quest to Learn. And the premise of the school is that kids were going to learn through the use of games. They did interact in ways that kids normally interact with games. So we had a set of game-like learning principles that kind of drove all the work that we did at the school. And it was things like failure is reframed as iteration. You're not actually failing a game, you just kind of try again. You change what you did a little bit so that you can figure out how to make it work.
Adam, you and I were speaking earlier the other affordance that games have is the assessment component. Maybe you can talk a little bit about your thoughts on that.
Sure. So education is at least three things. There's teaching, there's learning, and then there's the assessment part. The typical way we do it is there's the teaching part through a unit or through a semester, and the assessment happens at the end. But in the digital age, when you're using digital media to convey the teaching, there's really no reason to wait till the end to do the assessment. The idea is, I think the ideal way is to do the assessment alongside the learning. With each action the player makes, the engine is sort of picking up how the player is doing and can add support if necessary, and can add more challenge if necessary. And so there's a movement in education called adaptive learning, to understand how the learner is doing in real time, and then to add the support, scaffolding, or more challenge as necessary for that individual learner.
What we were seeing was there were teachers out there that were trying to figure out how to mod Assassin's Creed so they could bring it into the classroom, because there were a generation of young people getting, absorbed and inspired about world history through playing Assassin's Creed. And I'm so pleased that, fast forward 4 or 5 years, you have not one but 2 products in the market that have leveraged this amazing world you've created, and now there's actually a tool for teachers can use. I'm aware also of another product in the healthcare space called Dig Rush, and that was another project that was initiated by a developer on the team.
Exactly. It's a Dig Rush is for the lazy eye. So when you have the lazy eye, when you are a kid, you can go through medical follow-up and improve this situation. But when you are an adult, it's done, becomes anything for that. But with this product, Dig Rush, this is helping even adult people who have the lazy eye. So yes, and I think when you see a VR application or AR application, I was attending Southwest last year in Austin, where I saw classes, AR classes, painting classes for autistic people who can prompt text or dialogue when they enter a restaurant or when they enter a situation where they have to connect with other people, and it's helping them enter in the discussion, in the dialogue. So it's positive to see how those technologies and how gaming in general can help.
Am I correct that Dig Rush has been going through clinical trials and has been submitted to the FDA for approval?
Yes.
That's amazing, and it's one of the, I think there are 2 maybe games that Federal Drug Administration, Food and Drug Administration, that once it gets passed, it will be able to be prescribed by doctors as digital medicine.
Whether it's a pure educational game, like Rabbids coding, or if any pure entertainment game, I think we really want to make sure that if we bring history in the setting, if we bring dance, or if we bring playing guitar, we want to do it in a way that it's meaningful and bringing really knowledge or learning to the players. I think it's why I'm also very proud and very happy to work for a company that takes it seriously.
Something happens when kids move into 4th grade, 5th grade, middle school, and they're not supposed to be smiling and learning at the same time. It's just not supposed to happen. So the thought, and we opened a middle school on purpose. We said to put a stake in the ground. This is actually where you see disengagement, right? They're fine in elementary school, they're engaged because they're doing all this active learning and hands-on learning. But in middle school, they disengage. So this is where we want to try to solve some problems. But there was a real bias against play and game and learning, and particularly games, and particularly video games.
There are still people who are concerned, and I think as being part of the industry is something that we have a responsibility to address, comment on, and offer perhaps advice on how we as an industry can move forward. So I'm sure many of you are aware of the WHO, the World Health Organization, making a statement, a claim that games are going to be categorized as a disorder, which for many of us in the industry felt was extremely premature and not substantiated and needs a lot of research. However, it was put out there, and it messages an area of concern to consumers and parents.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting if learners we're addicted to learning. I mean, addiction is sort of the extreme of engagement, and you know, we've all already talked about how there's an engagement problem in American schools. The Gallup organization does a survey every couple of years of American high school students. The last time was a couple of years ago. They surveyed almost 1 million high school students, and over 60% of them said they're not engaged by school, and that's an epidemic. So if we can leverage the characteristics of games that are maybe not addictive but very engaging, then I think that's a good thing.
For me, the video game industry, when you think about the future and what we know is that in the next 10 years, and 10 years from now, 80% of the jobs of tomorrow don't exist today. So what I tell to my nephews and to my son and to people, students we have this morning is learning how to learn, being able to reskill all the time, to create the unknown. I think is really what the video game industry can bring in terms of art skills, but also soft skills, and that's very important because more than ever, the future is hard to predict. So being equipped for this unknown and being able to address it in a positive way, I think is a very big strength for the future generation.
Well, I think that's a nice way to end it, looking ahead at the future generation. Yes?
Hey there. So my question was in regards to, has there been initiative or outreach towards public libraries or just public spaces where the just general people of any age, you know, kids or adults, can kind of access this sort of stuff? I think it's interesting with like the Assassin's Creed engine being used towards a more historical context and a non-violent context, not combative, just purely exploration focused for people to be able to get that experience on a wider scale.
Learning environment,
exactly.
Right, outside of school.
Yeah.
Well, I have seen a pickup of interest from museum educators across the country in using games or game-based learning or game design programs as a way to engage, more youth in their community, and their goals are to bring more people into a museum environment, and also in which to think about their collections in a different way. We actually just received a grant from the Institute of Museum, Library, and Sciences to bring the program into museum environments. And we're working with 12 museums across the country to help adapt this program to figure out how this program can be best used in their education. So yeah. I'm encouraged.
I'm local to Flemington, New Jersey, and our public library is one of the very few places in Flemington where kids can kind of have a free, safe environment. You don't have to spend money, you can kind of entertain yourself.
It's actually a free, safe space.
Exactly. So stuff like this, I mean, like, if this is how kids get their education, their kind of book learning, there are shelves in that library that haven't moved for 30 years. But something like that you look at and it absolutely draws you in.
As the closing speaker, it kind of is necessary to respond to what was already said or what may have not been said so far. And so I was adjusting my slides to incorporate some of the things that have been said. So we have a responsibility to teach and help our students acquire the kind of skills and knowledge to live to their fullest potential and become leaders in a world that is already changing. We're already feeling that sea change. And so how can we prepare them for that when we don't even know what it is? This year's one projection of future work skills in 2020. And you can see that in a climate and in a situation where we have extreme longevity in how we learn, we live in a computational world, we have pseudo-structured organizations, everything is globally connected, we have a new media ecology and the rise of smart machines and systems. What happens in that context, in that world, is not what happened to our grandparents or our parents or even to ourselves in the world. The old model is from my brain to your brain, from the teacher's brain to the student's brain. That's not how it happens at all. It's knowledge construction. And we've acknowledged that in the literature, we've acknowledged that in theory for many, many decades. This is not new. This is old. Except when you look at schools, it seems it's brand new, at least many schools. And a big point in all of that is our identity formation, to understand who we are, who we want to be in this world, and what kind of character we have, and that what kind of citizenship that means. So that's really what we would want, right? And the question is whether current schools can serve that, or whether games are actually a very good mechanism to bring that into the schools that have such a hard time changing for reasons that are really not the teachers' faults often, right? So what do we want is, we want to somehow measure holistic outcomes, not just knowledge. It's ongoing, and that's what I also mentioned in the panel, and so games can do that, right? It's a part of an activity that's meaningful. Going to a test and sitting in a chair and bubbling in your responses is not a meaningful activity. Why would you ever really put the effort in that you would want for that? Games also are designed for emotion induction, and we know from research, some of our research and others, that emotion, actually positive emotion, enhances learning. If I'm in a positive emotional state, I learn more than if I'm in a neutral or negative emotional state. That's a natural response, and games are one of the best media to actually support or facilitate the induction of emotions. And so that is something that game designers have known in a long time, but we're catching on in the learning community as well. And in a game, the interesting thing is we have other types of engagement at our disposal. We have, for instance, physical engagement. If it's a Kinect-based game, it's a virtual realities game, in any case, it's a game with a controller where you manipulate things, right? So I can become physically active. But then I also have social cultural engagement. The way I design the game could be a social interaction, it could be a cultural context, etc. So I engage with that. Or affective engagement. Many of players of intense, players who spend a lot of time on specific games will share their emotional experiences with a certain scene in the game where something happened that really means something to them emotionally, and where they have connected to the game characters. And if we can get that kind of engagement in Arana through what I'm going to talk about just a moment, the game elements, then that emotional engagement will lead to more cognitive engagement, because if I care for those characters, if I want to solve those problems, then I will expend more cognitive effort. We are, myself personally, grounded in academic settings. We need to work with the industry, and this is a perfect example here. And we need to work with education partners, and those are the people we've worked with, and so people who actually make this happen. I put you in the middle because you're more or less the glue that brings all of us together, and Ubisoft, we haven't worked together, but maybe the day will come. When we think about the corporate world wanting to have an impact, you need the education partners to find out what it is that they need solved as problems. And this is a beautiful example of having teachers actually come up with the idea and an industry partner responding to that. And when we as researchers have questions that we want to answer, research theoretical questions, if we only build a cheap game to study what games can do for learning, then just because it's a small budget, it's not a well-designed game, then we actually don't know what the potential is of games for learning. So we need the industry partners, and so need the education partners. So to me, to build these coalitions, to build these groups of people working together, has been not only rewarding, but it's something that I believe our team recognizes as the only way to move forward. And what I was so impressed with here with Ubisoft and Games for Change at this event is that this is a beautiful example of how this can happen. So thank you for all putting us all together.
Drawn to the end of this day, and before we leave, I want to say a few more words about how important an event like Keys to Learn is for Ubisoft and for the whole industry. I've been in the video game industry for the last 20 years. It's a fascinating industry. I've learned so much, and I'm learning like every day, again today. So thank you for all the speakers today for what I learned. And it never stops moving. Ubisoft is committed to preparing the next generation of video game professionals because it's where our future lies. But we also know that we can play an important role in preparing the next generation for many other jobs, challenges, and opportunities. There is huge potential for more synergies in learning between video game developers, schools and universities and teachers and so on. And I'm excited to see so many of you here today to discuss all of this together. I hope we have inspired you and given you ideas on ways to work closer together in the future. And as you all seen for yourself this afternoon with the discovery tool, Rabbids coding, and Project Oikos, learning is more effective when it's fun. The very nature of games makes them a great vehicle to learn, grow, socialize, and evolve. And Ubisoft and all the people you heard today sincerely believe in the power of games. Games are accessible, games don't judge, games offer new perspective, games reward you, games cross borders, games are accepting of everyone who wants to play them. This is just the beginning, and we are looking forward to doing so much more together. So thank you all for coming.
Games are powerful. They are fun and engaging.
They create communities that aren't limited by borders, languages, and cultures.
At Ubisoft, we believe that games have the power to unite people, do good, and inspire positive change in society.
Games can play an important role in education, health, and even exploring complex societal issues.
The impact is now recognized across the video game industry and beyond.
At this event, we hope to shine a light on some of the fantastic work being done in this space, and take a deeper look at how games and learning might go hand in hand in the future.
We're looking forward to continuing this conversation with you.
Thank you, everyone.